If you're over 60 and your feet feel swollen, heavy, or full of that tingling that won't quit no matter how you shift in bed, keep watching. You've stopped wearing the shoes you used to love. You've stopped taking the evening walks. You look at your ankles in the mirror and quietly wonder when your body started feeling like it belonged to someone else. Here's what nobody told you. The fluid sitting in your ankles right now isn't the problem. It's a symptom of something happening higher up, in a place most people never think to look. And the strangest part? Your grandmother probably knew how to fix it. 3 bay leaves, 1 sock, 8 hours. By the time you wake up tomorrow, the swelling in your ankles will look different in the mirror, and you'll understand why your feet have felt foreign for the last 2 years. But before I show you exactly how to place them, you need to understand the one mistake almost everyone makes. Get this wrong, and the leaves do nothing. Get it right, and you'll feel the change before sunrise. 60 years of watching the same thing walk through my door. A woman sits down. She lifts her pant leg. She points at her ankle like it's a stranger's ankle, not hers. And before she says a word, I already know what's wrong, because the feet are never where the trouble started. The trouble started somewhere you have never thought to look, and if I do not show you tonight, by next winter the river inside you will have forgotten the way home. Picture a slow river. At the top of the mountain, the snow melts and the water moves easily. But the riverbed has grown tired. The current slows. Down at the bottom, the water no longer moves. It pools. It thickens. It sits. That bottom of the river is your ankles tonight. This is what is happening inside you. The vessels that carry your blood back up from your feet to your heart have grown tired. The little valves inside them, the ones that were supposed to close behind each push of blood, have started to leak. Gravity does what gravity always does. The fluid that should be moving upward sits at the bottom instead. By the end of the day, your socks leave deep marks. By morning, your ankles still feel full because the river never caught up overnight. And this is why your feet have felt like they belong to someone else. They do. They belong to a body that has slowly stopped sending blood up the way it used to. And the part of you that still remembers walking 5 miles a day at 40 cannot match the part of you that now lives below the knees. Your feet are not foreign. They are stranded. Tonight we bring them home. Now bay leaf. The bay leaf carries an oil inside it that wakes a tired vessel. When that oil meets the warm skin of your foot through the night, it draws on the tiny capillaries underneath. It coaxes them. It reminds them how to squeeze, how to move, how to send the water back up the river the way they used to. This is why the foot is the right place. The skin there is thin. The blood vessels are close to the surface. And while you sleep, your body has 8 quiet hours with nothing else to do but listen. Miss those hours tonight and you lose them. The vessels do not catch up on a Saturday. Every night you skip is a night the river forgets a little more of how to run. And by the time the forgetting becomes permanent, no leaf in the world will bring it back. The kind of swelling that begins in the ankles at 60 does not stay in the ankles forever. The body has a long memory for being ignored. Most people do not feel the cost of that until it has been sitting for 10 or 15 years. And by then, the river is not just slow. It has changed its course. I learned this watching one woman do it for 14 nights in a row. And what happened on the 15th morning is something I have not been able to forget in 8 years. Her name was Margaret. She was 72 when she came to me, from a small town outside Cleveland, Ohio. She had spent 41 years as a school teacher, and she told me, the first time we met, that she missed standing at the front of a classroom more than she missed anything else in her life. She missed the way her feet used to carry her from one side of the room to the other without thinking about it. By the time she sat down across from me, she had not worn a real shoe in 2 years. She had tried the water pills her doctor gave her. She had tried compression stockings that hurt to put on. She had tried sleeping with her legs propped on 3 pillows. Nothing held. I gave her what I am about to give you. 3 bay leaves, 1 sock. 8 hours. But I told her one thing I have not told you yet. One small adjustment I make only for the people who have lived with this longest, and without it the leaves would have done almost nothing for her. I will give you that adjustment in a moment. First, what happened on her 3rd morning. She came back on the 15th day and she was wearing leather shoes, real ones with laces. She told me that by the 3rd morning the marks her socks had been leaving were gone. By the end of the 1st week, she could see her ankle bone again for the first time in over a year. By the 2nd week, she had gone for a walk to the end of her street and back without stopping to rest. 6 months later, Margaret wrote me a letter. She had gone back to substitute teaching 2 days a week. She said the children did not know that the woman standing at the front of the classroom had spent 2 years thinking that part of her life was over. And now I am going to give you the same thing I gave Margaret, and you can begin tonight with what is already in your kitchen. The right way to do this matters more than people think, so listen carefully. Take 3 whole bay leaves, not powder, not crumbs, whole dried leaves, the kind that sit in the small jar in the back of your spice drawer that you forgot you had. 3 is the number, not 2, not 4. 2 is not enough oil to reach the vessels. 4 pulls more than the body can use in one night, and the next morning you may feel a slight heaviness in your head, as if you slept too deeply. 3 is the number my teacher gave me, and his teacher gave him, and I have not found a reason to change it. Now here is the mistake I told you about at the start. The mistake that makes 9 out of 10 people throw the leaves away the next morning saying it didn't work. Before you place the leaves, you have to warm them. Not in a flame, in your hand. Hold all 3 pressed between your palms for 1 full minute. The heat from your hands wakes the oil inside the leaf. A cold leaf in a cold sock all night does almost nothing. The leaf was asleep. You have to wake it up. This is the small adjustment I gave Margaret on her first visit, and the reason her third morning looked different from her second. Now the sock. Use cotton or wool, not nylon, not the thin black dress socks. The fibers must let the skin breathe and let the oil pass through. Place 1 bay leaf flat against the bottom of your foot, right in the middle of the arch. Place the second leaf on top of your foot, over the bones where your laces would sit. Place the third leaf against the inside of your ankle, on the side that faces your other foot when you stand with your heels together. That is where a large vessel runs, just under the skin. The leaf does its quietest, most important work there. Pull the sock on gently over all 3. Do this with both feet, 6 leaves in total. Then lie down. Sleep on your back if you can, because lying on your side pinches 1 ankle for half the night, and the leaf on that side does only half the work. 8 hours is the window. Not 7, not 9. The body keeps time better than you think, and the vessels open and close on a schedule that was set before you were born. In the morning, take the sock off, take the leaves out, throw them away. They have done their work and cannot be used twice. The people who have done this come back to me and tell me the same things, almost word for word. They tell me their socks do not leave marks anymore. They tell me they can feel their ankle bone again when they cross their legs. One woman told me her wedding ring fit by the end of the 2nd week, and she had not been able to wear it in 3 years. Another man said he stood at his kitchen sink washing dishes for 20 minutes and forgot to think about his feet, which he had not forgotten about in 5 years. Start tonight. You have everything you need for the swelling sitting in your ankles right now. But here is what I did not tell Margaret on her first visit, and what almost cost her the result by the 2nd month. The bay leaf moves the water. It does not put out the fire underneath. If you do not learn what I am about to tell you next, the swelling will come back inside 90 days, and you will think the leaves stopped working. They did not. Something else woke up. What I have just given you is real, and for many of you it will be enough on its own. Take it and use it with my blessing. But if you have ever quietly wondered why the swelling came at all, or why it keeps trying to return even when you do everything right, stay with me for 2 more minutes. This is what I tell the people who sit across from me in my own kitchen. What I have noticed, over many years of watching the same pattern in body after body, is that the swelling in the feet is rarely just about the vessels. Underneath the tired river there is almost always a slow fire. You cannot see it. You cannot point to it. But it is the reason your knees ache when the weather turns. It is the reason you wake at 4 in the morning and cannot fall back asleep. It is the reason a cut on your shin in July is still there in October. That same fire is what keeps the valves in your legs leaking night after night, no matter how many bay leaves you wear. Now you will ask me, what does my belly have to do with my ankles? Everything. The fire I just described does not start in the leg. It starts in the gut, the same way a house fire starts in the basement and you only smell smoke upstairs. The vessels in your legs are upstairs. The smoke is the swelling, and until you go to the basement, you are mopping up water from a leak you never found. When the gut is settled, the fire stays in the basement. When the gut is troubled, the smoke rises, and the first place it settles is the tired vessels in your legs, because those vessels are already weak from gravity. That is why the swelling keeps coming back even when you do everything right. The gut needs 3 things to settle that fire. It needs good living bacteria, the small companions that have lived with us since we were born. It needs the fiber that those bacteria feed on. And it needs the healing compounds that those bacteria make once they are fed. There is one old, simple drink that carries all 3 of these things in a single cup. We call it kombucha. My people have used it for as long as anyone can remember. When the gut is fed properly, the slow fire begins to cool, and when that fire cools, the swelling in the ankles stops returning the way it has been. This is what I give the people who come to me alongside the bay leaves, and these are the ones who keep their results for years, not weeks. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge. But for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. The link is in the description, or you can search BoochBod Kombucha Gummies on Amazon. I want you to picture Margaret again, the school teacher from Ohio. I want you to picture her standing at the front of a classroom of 7-year-olds in real leather shoes, moving from one side of the room to the other without thinking about her feet. That same road is open to you. It is not too late. The body at 70 and 75 and 80 still knows how to do this work. It has only been waiting to be given what it needs. If this video helped you, please subscribe to the channel, share it with someone you love who has stopped wearing the shoes they used to love, and leave a comment below telling me where you are watching from. I read every single comment on this channel. Until next time.